If you're a fan of Mass Effect, then you should know that today is N7 Day. If you don't know what that means, then let me just tell you quick. N7 Day is an event that takes place every year on November the 7th. It's all to celebrate Mass Effect. And for N7 Day this year, I'm going to do a top 10. So I'm going to count down my top 10 favourite squad mates from Shepard's trilogy. So I'm sorry, but all squad mates from Mass Effect Andromeda are excluded from this countdown. It is only squad mates from the Shepard trilogy. Without further ado, let's get this countdown counting down. Starting at number 10. Now just remember, this is not like the best skilled characters for your squad. This is just what I'm saying are my favourite squad mates to have within your missions. It's nothing about tactics, it's just I like these characters, okay? So, yeah. At number 10, we have the Cerberus bitch herself, Miranda Lawson. Some people will be wondering why she's on here, but it's my decision. She was genetically designed by her father to be perfect. Biotic abilities really come in handy in the field. Plus I like the back and forth between her and Jack. But also she's got a really good storyline, big story to tell. And her story just pans across 2 games. But the ending of her story all depends on what choice you made in the last game and in Mass Effect 3. Moving on now to number 9, the psychotic biotic and Miranda's worst nightmare, Jack. Also known as Subject Zero. Described by Gabby as the crazy Cerberus murdering woman who wears nothing but tattoos from the waist up. Jack is another great character. She just completely changes from Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3, providing she survives, that is. In Mass Effect 2, she is exactly as Gabby has described, but providing she survives the events at the end of Mass Effect 2, i.e. the suicide mission, then in Mass Effect 3, she becomes a teacher. A freaking teacher! She changes just so much. But yeah, she's my number 9. Let's move on to number 8. He is the very model of a scientist Solarian. It is Mordin Solus. And there's going to be spoilers for this one. Mordin is another one that succumbs to Shepard's influence. Being a former member of the STG, and well, a performer of sorts, Mordin is a doctor. And a deadly one at that. He certainly knows his way around a gun and won't flinch to do what he thinks is right. But in the end, Mordin's story is sad. As I said, this is going to contain some spoilers. So the reason Mordin is number 7 on my favourites is because he goes from this like assassin type doctor to a massive hero. Literally, he cures the genophage, meaning Krogan can come back from the brink of extinction. But he has to sacrifice himself in doing so. And, I mean, honestly, his sacrifice is probably one of the most heartbreaking parts of the entire Mass Effect franchise. Even though there is actually a way of saving Mordin, but it then condemns the Krogan to extinction. But speaking of Krogan, in at number 7 we have Urbnot Rex. The first ever Krogan to join your squad, starting out as a mercenary, and then in Mass Effect 2 becoming the leader of Clan Urbnot. He doesn't love it, but someone's got to keep the Krogan in check. Rex can either be a friend or a foe though. If he respects you, then he'll be a good friend. But if you don't fight hard enough in Mass Effect 1 to gain his loyalty and trust, then he will betray you, and, well, that will eventually result in Rex's death. But, obviously, if you're smart and you gain his respect, then he'll help you out in Mass Effect 2 and, well, even help you out with Grunt. But then again, in Mass Effect 3 there's another opportunity where he will actually betray you again. But only if you betray him, and that is if you kill Mordin yourself, therefore refraining Mordin from actually releasing the cure to the genophage. There's a lot of death on this list. Moving on to another death. At number 6 we have Legion. Now Legion is actually a Geth unit who, well, the Geth were actually the bad guys in Mass Effect 1, and well, yeah, you kill a lot of them. But Legion is different. For one, well, he actually talks to you. Legion is a great asset. He's a brilliant sniper, not as good as Garrett's obviously though, but he's got great tech abilities, and he brings out another side of Tali which we never thought we'd see. Not, I mean, aggressive Tali, but also nice Tali, and she actually ends up liking Legion and works with him, and it's just a nice character story arc with those two characters. But yes, Legion, this unit does have a soul. Moving on to number 5, we've got Grunt. Basically, he's, well, he's your son. Well, adopted son. Grunt is a tank-bred Krogan, made by Warlord Okia. He's the perfect soldier. Literally all of Okia's work went into him. Shepard has the opportunity to birth Grunt from the glass mother. With Shepard being the first person that Grunt ever sees, you kind of have to take on the father/motherly role and show Grunt everything there is. Because all he is wanting to do is fight. That's literally what he has been born with. He has been shown images of war and brutality to be made into the perfect soldier. But Grunt is just, he is so funny as well. And he just, well, he is the perfect soldier. But again, he is another one that, for Shepard, will make the ultimate sacrifice, if needed be. And that sacrifice comes in Mass Effect 3. All in all, Grunt is just a great character to tag along in the squad. He's super strong, and just has that dark, dry sense of humour, which fits in well with me. Moving on now to number 4, and we've got a biotic goddess. Not Samara, Liara T'Soni. Dr. Liara T'Soni is the final squad mate you collect during the first Mass Effect game. Being the daughter of matriarch Benezia, she plays a vital part in the first Mass Effect game. As Benezia is, well, she's the bad guy's best friend sort of thing. She's Saren's right-hand woman. So when it comes to recruiting her daughter Liara, there's a lot of tension, shall I say, on the ship. Shay? I sound like Sean Connery. But Liara T'Soni has got the best love storyline with Commander Shepard. Now there's a lot of people that you can choose to romance during the first 3 games. And Liara T'Soni is the, well, the first game is between her and Ashley if you play as male Shep. And she's just got the best storyline out of anyone. I mean, Tali gives her a run for her money, but if Tali was a love interest in Mass Effect 1, then, well, then she'd be my favourite. But Liara is my favourite love interest from Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3. Mainly because the storyline just flows so perfectly with the games. And I believe that's just how it was meant to go. Moving on to number 3, the dying assassin, Thane. I mean, from the beginning, you knew his end already. Thane is suffering with Kepral syndrome, which is a lung disease that renders them unable to absorb oxygen and ultimately to breathe at all. Thane's death isn't quick, and it certainly isn't painless. And it's made so much worse considering he's such a close friend. Thane's death is another heartbreaking moment in the Mass Effect franchise. But his story arc is just, well, his whole story is upsetting. His wife was murdered, so he goes off and chases the people that murdered them, and he kills them all one by one. Kind of like John Wick does with the dog. Seeing a similarity here, actually. But in doing this, he loses his son. I don't mean his son dies, but his son Koliak basically tries to get close to his father by becoming an assassin himself. And Thane has to stop him from doing that. But the most heartbreaking part is when he finally starts to get his life in order. His disease has other ideas. But now, we're going to move on to second place. Second place goes to none other than Tali'Zorah. Tali's a brilliant tech expert, also part of a dying race. Tali is one of your best friends throughout Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And if you're male Shep, then in number 2 and 3, she becomes more than your best friend. She becomes a love interest. And that's just a fantastic storyline. Literally, as I said, if she was a romantic interest in Mass Effect 1, then their storyline would probably be the best. But Tali's not on here because obviously of the romantic stuff and all that. Tali's my number 2 because she's brilliant. She's quick-witted, sometimes quite sassy, and she knows exactly what she's doing. And I just don't really think I need to say too much about her because everyone knows she's awesome. So, with that, I know I left it quite short on Tali, but I'm going to move on to first place, number 1. No introduction is needed. You all know it's Garrus Vakarian. Who else would be number 1? I don't know a single person that doesn't love Garrus. Now, Garrus, right from the get-go, is your best friend. Literally, as soon as you meet him, you got multiple options to say. You got like, good shot, Garrus, or you know, basically you can either get on with him or you don't. But whatever option you choose, he will be your best friend throughout the 3 games. Literally, just agreeing with everything you say, and he will back you up throughout thick and thin. Garrus is your brother. He is the best squad mate ever. And his storyline of, well, actually quite a lot of it is revenge. Mass Effect 1, he's got revenge with Dr. Hart, I believe. And yeah, Mass Effect 2, revenge with Sidonus. And in Mass Effect 3, well, Mass Effect 3 is basically everyone's revenge against the Reapers. Because the Reapers are destroying the homeworld, y'all. They're destroying Palaven. They're destroying Earth. They're destroying Thessia. They're destroying all the species' homeworlds. So, yeah, everyone's on revenge in Mass Effect 3. But again, I don't really need to say much about Garrus because everyone knows he's the best. That might not be your thoughts, but that is mine. To me, he is the best. To a lot of other people, he is the best. Literally, go look at his badass moments. He is awesome. But thank you guys for watching this Top 10 Mass Effect Squad Mates. And, well, I hope you enjoyed. Tell me if you agree with what I said. I know Tyler doesn't because I already know what his top 10 Mass Effect characters are. But they're pretty similar. I'll just say that. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There will be more top 10s coming soon. And until next time, goodbye.